So I've been driving the tractor about, kind of average about 10 hours a day. We do 12-hour days, we do 8-hour days. I watch the sunrise in the tractor and I watch the sunset in the tractor on a typical day. Today's Sunday and we usually take Sunday off, so had a chance to get back to trying to get this Jeep fixed. The battery died. I charged the battery back up and it wouldn't start. And it seems that a real common issue with these Jeeps, this is a 2000 Cherokee Sport. It's pretty common, I guess, that the crank position sensor fails and so you don't have fuel to your cylinders anymore. So I've been coming out at night after I get off work and I pulled this spark plug rail off, which came off really easy. I could not get the connector in the back off because I'm not very good at those connectors, but I finally figured out how to get that off. Tried to unplug it and then turn it over and then plug it back in again, hoping it would reset the computer and maybe it would fire, but it doesn't want to fire. So I think what I'm going to do is crawl underneath and pull that sensor off. I'm hoping that maybe it's plugged. I was thinking maybe there's some crud on the back side of that sensor and I could clean it off and it would start sensing again before I go and spend. They have one at O'Reilly for like 50 bucks, but O'Reilly's far from here, and again, I'm working too much to have time to go to the store. But if I could get that cleaned off, or at a minimum pull it out and take it with me so I make sure I get the right one, I think that'd be a good thing. So I'm going to pull that sensor out. Well, I crawled under the truck looking for that crank position sensor and I found a wire that had been chewed through, probably by one of the friendly neighborhood mice. Tried to trace the wire up and it does appear to go to the crank position sensor. Pretty hard to find. I had to get a video of it and lo and behold, it's right where they say it is, on top of the transmission housing, kind of off to the driver's side. I'll get under there and try to show it to you. You can see the little wires on top of it are chewed off. Starting to get a little annoyed by all the mice out here. Mice and batteries, flies, goat heads. That's what I do out here. And tires, probably. Looked for all of my 3/8 extensions and got some glasses and some light. And once again, I have squandered my nice day, although the nice days don't last that long anymore. But it's pretty darn nice out for November today. I think it was 65 degrees. So first I'll try to show you the crank position sensor. So there's the sensor, and you can see the wires are chewed off the top. When I got under here, before I found it, I was looking around and I found this wire. I was like, oh, that's a problem. So not 100% sure a mouse chewed that off. It could have just got pulled off, got yanked off somehow. So I got the sensor out. I cleaned it up a little bit. It was really dirty on this side. I don't know how it was even reading anyways, but you can see I'm pretty close to 100% sure that the mice did that. There must be something in the insulation that they like. Anyways, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to save that, I don't think. So probably just go up to O'Reilly and grab a new one. It's probably original to the car, so it probably has the 220,000 miles on it that the Jeep has. Hoping that replacing it cures all my misfire codes, because they are, I guess, notorious for creating those codes. This was the rig I used. Not ideal because I had my swivel kind of not at the end, but I made it work, and somehow I got to those bolts and turned them out. Would have been nice to have another probably couple feet of extension on here. I really wanted to video getting that sensor out, but I just don't think it's feasible to video it. Not with my video skills. Those are the bolts that came out. They're actually I put a 7/16 socket on there, so I think on one of the videos I watched, I thought they said 3/8, but mine were 7/16. I'm sure all of them are. And they're nice long threads, so it took a little while. I loosened them up underneath, and then I came from up here and could get them out with my fingers, kind of blindly, but they came out. So pretty excited that I got it out. Not sure I'll be able to get it back in, but progress. So it is just a glorious day out at the farm. It's my last day out here for a while. Just got done helping that guy with the corn harvest and just packing stuff up, and I really wanted to try and get the Jeep running before I left. I ended up getting the correct crank position sensor. While I was riding in the tractor, I called the shop and they delivered it, and it was the wrong one, so I had to take that back, and then I had to drive about, well, it's an hour from here, and get the correct one. This is the old one. So you can see a mouse got it and did not leave me enough wire to reconnect it. But I do think this sensor was maybe going out because I was getting so many misfire codes. So I took the old one out. After loosening the bolts from below, I was able to get the bolts out with my fingers and pull the sensor out through the top. I did not have to unplug it. The mouse took care of that for me. So I am going to have to figure out how to unplug the old wire and get the new one plugged in. So I'm taking a bolt down with me. It's just hard to get my hand in and out of here. Let's see if I can get this guy in. So I'm just trying to find the hole. So there's the hole. And then I will put the plate on. I'm just holding the bolt with two fingers, kind of like a cigarette, I guess. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. So I couldn't quite get it in, but I do understand now how it sits. I thought for some reason this was the sensor, but this is actually the, I think it's like a proximity sensor. So that mounts on the housing, and then this slides down into the bell housing of the transmission, and then the flywheel kind of comes, it just kind of sits next to the flywheel, spinning around, and then the flywheel, I guess, has a little notch in it, and that's how the computer times the ignition. Be like using a timing light on your harmonic balancer with that little notch where top dead center is. So I was miraculously able to get that sensor in there, and I kind of put the bolt through there like that, and then I had it, I don't know, kind of like this, and I was able to reach down in there, and I got the other bolt started. Like halfway in, I'm not able to get it to tighten up, and then this bolt I dropped, and again, miraculously was able to get underneath and find it. So now I'm gonna try to get this second bolt started. Let's do a little contortioning here. I don't know, maybe it's easier to go from underneath, but I don't know how you'd get them started from underneath. I just got it in somehow. It's total luck. So now I'll go underneath and tighten them down with the ratchet, plug it in, put the spark plug rail back in, see if she'll start. I don't know how you're spending your Saturday, but this is how I'm spending mine. Should have bought another extension while I was at the auto parts store. I'm not going to snap that in until I make sure it works. Like I've said, my biggest battle out here is mice. I do more mouse mitigation than I do actually fixing any cars. That was a bad one. They knew which sensor to chew through though, man. Crank position. She ain't gonna run without that. They're like, this is gonna disable this guy for sure. There's sure a way to run your car without that. You can't bypass that. It seems like you could just tell the computer, just remember the last setting and we'll just, you know, we'll get her home, but nope. So I'm gonna put this back on. I should just change the spark plugs while I have it off, but it actually isn't all that hard to get off. So I'll see if I can get her running, and then we'll do the spark plugs a different day. if I could put a distributor and coil back on this thing. This thing's kind of goofy. Four bolts. I don't know where this one goes. Same size. Slid onto the valve cover bolt. I guess. Looks good to me. Well, I'm going to tighten those down, and I think she's going to be ready to try to start. It's just a bummer that putting effort into something like this shouldn't have needed to be done. This truck needs so much work. So many things I could be doing to it to make it better, and I have to do the part that gets chewed by a mouse instead. Well, let's see if she starts. Take her for a little drive. I already see that the check engine light is off. Well, I guess she's running as good as she was. I was hoping that maybe that sensor was not doing so good before it got disconnected. Maybe it was causing some of my misfire codes, but I've still got the check engine light on now, and it doesn't seem like it's really running a whole lot better, although it's running, I think, as good as it ever did. She's never had a lot of horsepower, so I'm happy to have it back. I know this wasn't a very exciting video, but trying to just do videos of kind of whatever I'm up to, and this happens to be what I'm up to at the moment. Now that this is back and running, I can start getting back into the other vehicles. What's next? Well, I'm going to introduce you to a new car that I bought that's actually, well, it was running pretty good. Now it's not running, but it's a 1967 Volvo 122, or they call them Amazons. And I just bought that because it's something that I always wanted. So I'll introduce you guys to that. Got another Jeep identical to this one that I bought that I need to get a video out on, but it quit running on me too. can make money sometimes, I guess. So thanks guys for watching. If you did watch this one, probably get like 30 views on this one, but that's okay. See you guys really soon.